This is lesson 95, part 5. In this lesson, we are going to really focus hard on the present participle. Now, the present participle is what principal part?
The second one.
Yes, exactly. So the present participle is the second principal part. So you need to understand, even though participles and principles sound so close that people get them mixed up, principal parts are different than your participle. But the present participle is the second principal part. And how you form your present participle is you take your base word, and the base word here is guess, and then you add your ing, guessing. So make sure you're following the spelling rules. This has a double S, it's a vowel, consonant, consonant, and so you just add your ing. Press, this is a double S, and then you just add your ing to make pressing. This is your present participle. How about sip?
Sipping.
Sipping, how would you spell that?
S-I-P-P.
See how this right here is a consonant vowel consonant, so it has to be doubled. Now this, when you actually look at this word, you would think that it was a consonant vowel consonant, but it wasn't. This right here, the base word is ESS. Right here, the base word is ESS. So you need to understand how to spell the base word, and you go off of this. This did not need the doubling rule, but this one did. Tie. What are we going to do?
Y-I-N-G.
T-Y-I-N-G. Now this is one of those unusual words. This is one of those unusual words right here where it says you actually change the I-E to Y and you add on your ing. Lie, same thing here, L-Y-I-G. That's how you would put it in your present participle, which is what principal part?
Second.
Your second principal part. Now wrap. How would you spell wrap?
R-A-P-P.
W-R-A-P-P-I-N-G. Now this is a really old word because we have a W in front of it, and it puts us in the Greek area. But you just need to look at the last 3 letters to see if you need the doubling rule. Now, if you didn't double it, it would say raping, and then it would still be spelt wrong. Wondering, right? Now, the R is not doubled because this is your accented syllable. You only double on your accented syllable if it's a multi-syllable word. If it's a one-syllable word, no matter what, you follow the doubling rule. But if it's a multi-syllable word, you need to be careful. You don't double it here because this is the accented syllable. The INGs are your present participle. It's the second principal part, and it is the continuing action. It is the continuing action. So if you see ING, you know it's the continuing action. It's continually moving. It is our present participle. Now, if you're going to use it as the present participle as a verb, you need to use the auxiliary verb first. You need to use the auxiliary verb in front of it. So see, with the continuing action, wait, we go into waiting. Talk, talking. Thank, thanking. So what you do is you take it off the base word and you add your ing. That's all you do to get your present principal part. That's all you do to get your present principal part, is take it off of your base word. What is your base word? What principal part is your base word?
First one.
The very first one. So these ones will go off of your very first principal part. And then these are the second principal part. So first and second. And these are seeing you in the progressive tense. So when we're talking about progressive tense, we're talking about verbs. Your present participle, they are formed by your base word. They take the action, which is continuous, and this is in the English language. Your present participle has to take the auxiliary verbs, am, is, are, which puts you in what tense? Am, is, and are.
Present.
Present, and was and were is
Past.
the past. Now remember, that's your present participle. We're going to talk about your present participle as an adjective. And this is where it gets a little bit more confusing. Oftentimes you're looking at it thinking that is a verb, but your present participle, they can be adjectives. Here are some examples of your present participle acting as an adjective. Now, if you're going to use your present participle as an adjective, do you use an auxiliary verb?
No.
No. So you only want to use your auxiliary verb when you're using it as a verb. So see, look at this. Daniel chose the guessing game for our Sunday activity. What is your present participle there?
I'm guessing.
Guessing. See, right here, this doesn't have an auxiliary verb because this is not the verb. It is describing the game. It's the guessing game. See how you can use that as an adjective. The sewing machine has an irritating noise. What is your present participle here?
Sewing.
Sewing
Irritating.
and irritating. Now, sewing is your present participle that is an adjective. What is it describing? Adjectives only describe nouns and pronouns.
Machine.
Yeah, you're right. So the sewing machine and irritating is your present participle that is an adjective. What is it describing? Talking about irritating.
Noise.
Nice. So noise is the noun. How do we know that noise is the noun? It's a noise, right? It's a noise. It's the noise. You can't say an noise because this is a consonant. The reason why we're using an here is because this is a vowel. You only use an before a vowel. The exciting new refrigerator looked beautiful in the kitchen. What is your adjective there? What is your present participle that is an adjective?
Exciting.
Exciting. What is it describing?
Refrigerator.
Yeah, I would say refrigerator. So it's the exciting refrigerator because isn't it exciting to have a new refrigerator? But you can also say it's an exciting new. But if you did that, then this would be an adverb. If you're going to say the exciting new. So with that, we're focusing on adjectives. Most of the time, you're going to find your participle sitting as an adjective, not an adverb. Most of the time. So every now and then you might be able to slip that in. Really good writers can do that. It's much harder for beginners to put that as an adverb. And I am not a really good writer. I just love, love, love grammar. And I'm actually making these sentences super simple because I want you to understand the concept, not using big words. I care about the concept, that you're getting the concept. So you big word people can use your big words however you want to use them, but I just want you to get the concept. Okay, now cleaning is exhausting. What is your present participle? Exhausting is your present participle. What is it describing?
The cleaning.
The cleaning. So this right here could be confusing. Could this be the present participle?
No.
No, what is it?
The noun.
That is your noun. So if you're going to diagram that, you would put it on a tree and it would go cleaning.
You might need to move your head.
Oh. You'd put it on a tree, it's sitting in the subject position, which is a noun position, and then you would put is and then exhausting. And then look, exhausting is describing cleaning. This is your present participle describing cleaning. Now, your adjective or your participle phrase. Now, so we're moving into adjective phrases, participle phrases. They are the same thing. When I say participle phrase, I'm meaning adjective phrase. In with the participle. Now you can have adjective phrases that are not participle phrases. But or maybe you could say the adjective participle phrase. You just need to know if it's a participle phrase, it's linking you to an adjective. Okay, so adjectives or participle phrases take commas. This is an absolute comma rule that you need to know and you need to remember. Now, drinking his juice quickly, comma, Paul threw the bottle in the trash before he went inside to dance. Now, right here, drinking is describing Paul. So see how you have to have the whole phrase complete. Drinking his juice quickly. So who's doing the drinking?
Me.
Paul is doing the drinking. So drinking is the adjective that's describing Paul. You absolutely have to have a comma to do this. So, and whoever is doing the drinking needs to come right after the comma. Whoever is doing the drinking needs to come right after the comma. If you're going to open it with a present participle, you need to know it takes the comma, and following the comma is your subject that is describing. Working quickly on his math problems before school started, comma, see how that whole phrase, this is an entire phrase. It's not a clause, it's a phrase. It's called a participle phrase, which means working is your adjective describing Paul. So, working quickly on his math problems before school started. What did Paul do? He's working quickly on his math problems before school started. But this Paul is attached to this verb. Paul slammed. So you can't say Paul is working. The working's the adjective. This Paul is connected to this verb. So, does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so it has to take the comma. This is called a participle phrase. An adjective participle phrase. Paul slammed his book shut and ran out the door to catch his ride. Did you do that, Paul?
No.
I just thought it was fun to say that. Or you can use in the middle of a sentence. Paul, comma, running out the door to play his game, comma, stopped because he forgot his football. Now, the running, you would almost say Paul running. You know that there is no way that this is your verb because you have to have the auxiliary verb in front of that. So, since there's not an auxiliary verb in front of it, you're going to say, oh, that's either a gerund or it's an adjective. So, is running out the door to play the game describing Paul? Yeah, it is, right? So it takes commas on both sides. Paul running out the door to play his game stopped because he forgot his football. So see how it takes commas on both sides. If you can do this, if you can say running out the door to play his game, Paul stopped because he forgot his football, then you know you have, and it makes complete sense, you know you have a participle phrase, an adjective phrase that takes the comma. So look at this. Can I say, Paul, drinking his juice quickly, threw the bottle into the trash? You could totally do that. Or how about this? Paul, working quickly on his math problems before school started, then I would do another comma. Then you would need two commas. Slammed his book shut and ran out the door to catch his ride. But if you're going to start it with the adjective, with your present participle, you just need the one comma. The reason why you take the commas here, no matter what, if you're going to start it, you need the comma. Because you need, if it's 4 or more words, no matter what, you need a comma on a phrase. And most of the time, adjective or participle phrases, they will be longer than 4 words. But it's considered a non-essential. So you're going to comma that out. Because this totally makes sense that I could say, Paul stopped because he forgot his football. Mm-hmm. This just gives you more information. That's what adjectives do. They modify. They give you more information. Right? Paul slammed his book shut and ran out the door to catch his ride. Makes complete sense. It's this right here is considered a non-essential information. But there are times when you will have essential information. I boxed off all of your commas so you can see this takes a comma rule when you are using an adjective phrase that's in the present participle, okay? Now there are times when it is essential information that you are using and it's going to be an adjective participle phrase. So the boy wrapping the gift is very particular. In this sense, I want people to know that that boy, the boy over there that's wrapping the gift, you need to have this information to know which boy it is, right? So this is not taking commas, but wrapping, is this your verb or is it your adjective? It's the participle. Is it the verb or the adjective? This is the adjective. How do you know for sure that that is the adjective? Very particular. You're right. I love, okay, you saw that. You're talking about the boy is very particular. Here's your verbs right there. So wrapping, also a clue right here that there is no way that this is your verb. It does not have any auxiliary verbs right here. None. So you know that this is either a gerund or an adjective. So what is wrapping the gift describing?
Wrapping the gift is describing the boy.
Right. So this one doesn't make sense if I say wrapping the gift, the boy is very particular. So this one wouldn't even make sense to switch it around. Not only that, okay, this is essential information, so I am not putting commas around it because you absolutely need to know that. So once in a while, if you know that it's essential information, remember, essential information does not take commas. Non-essential information takes the comma. Paul is jumping into bed. What do you think about that sentence? What is your present participle?
Jumping.
Nice. Jumping. Now, what kind of participle is? What is this? Is this your adjective or is this your verb?
Oh, that's for sure a verb.
That is for sure a verb. How do we know that? It's because you have your auxiliary verb is. Paul is jumping. So make sure that you are understanding that. This right here is your verb. Continuous present tense verb. Right here. But this is not. But how you see that is because of that. How about this? The kitchen, sparkling with cleanliness, looked impressive. Okay.
It's an adjective.
This is an adjective describing what?
Kitchen.
The kitchen. And we know for sure that it is not your continuous tense because you do not have a verb here. So you know that for sure. So you know that for sure, right? Because there's not an auxiliary verb here. So sparkling is describing kitchen. Can I say sparkling with cleanliness, the kitchen looked impressive? You could totally do that. I think it sounds better this way. But you could do that, and then this is your participle. That is an adjective. And this is your participle phrase. Your adjective phrase. So either one is considered an adjective phrase or a participle phrase. But there can be adjective phrases that are not participles. So you just need to know the difference. But this is an adjective. I hope that was helpful in understanding your present participle. See you in the next lesson.
Thanks for watching.